Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Turnabout Podcast. I'm your co host, Aris.
And I'm Lucie.
And today we are talking settings and location. But before we do that, we came up with an idea since the last episode. Basically, we had so much fun discussing Freshwater Pirate from Twitter and all her art, and she was so nice to us that we thought we'd introduce a weekly featured artist, someone who's contributing something to the Ace Attorney community in any way. It could be music, like covers of the music used. It could be artwork. It could be like
Fan art, fan
fan art, fan
fiction.
fiction. Yeah. And I think it's a good idea to increase the outreach and like show more people, show off the talent, because like for example, Lucie isn't that much involved online and I'm only involved in the Tumblr community. Like for example, if someone is only involved in the Reddit or YouTube or not even just listens to the podcast, that would give them access to people who are involved like on other mediums they don't use. Right?
Definitely. Like I'm not on Reddit and I don't have a Tumblr. So I do feel like I'm kind of missing out on a lot of fan interactions. But on the other hand, I have like knowledge in other elements like fan fiction. I know
Yeah.
quite a lot about this one. Even like online trials. I'm I don't know, I think because I was always kind of afraid of the internet. So I think because I was kind of younger and a bit afraid of the internet and talking to strangers, I was always in those communities where you don't technically have to speak to anyone. More of you like look at their work, like fan
It's funny how
fiction.
you it's funny how you mentioned that because I was thinking it the other day. You aren't involved that much in the like online part of Ace Attorney.
No.
And I was thinking how there's a correlation between that because you grew up playing this property. And you remember the other game I told you I play fanatically, like I grew up playing, is Sly Cooper, which is basically a raccoon thief. It's a huge story, but like I slowly, because I grew up with it, like you're thinking that it's just you in this game. And then you're thinking, oh, there's this whole massive world out who's like that's playing this game. And it took me a while to get used to talking about Sly Cooper online, the way you did with Ace
Yeah.
Attorney.
It was kind of like a
Yeah.
secret garden almost. Like it's something super private. Just like also I do think it kind of was like affected the way I grew up. I was really into like I wanted to be a lawyer for a very long time. It was very a precious thing to me. I don't think I was ready to share that with people. But I am now, but I'm older.
Yeah. I mean, once you get used to the internet, like what? Looking at a looking at a polo and Trucy incest fan
Yeah.
art.
There's nothing worse than that. It won't get any worst. But
Don't test your
yeah.
luck. I know there's some Pearl stuff as well.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even the I mean, that could be another podcast, but just the fact that we see Pearls channeling Mia with like her little girl's clothes and Mia being super sexualized is weird in the game. Like, it's
Yeah,
disturbing.
it is.
Ugh.
Also, since we're here, and now that I remember, spoiler alert.
Yes! Finally!
Yes, spoiler alert. I don't even know if there's spoilers in setting and location. I mean, there's bound to be.
Yeah,
Like talking
definitely.
about Bridge to Turnabout,
Yeah, of course.
100%. But yeah, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about
Setting and
the...
locations.
No.
Huh?
Let's talk about
Oh.
this week's featured artist.
Yes, I was so confident.
Great.
Yes.
This week we're featuring... I don't want to butcher his name, but
Okay.
on Twitter it's Isaac Livingood.
Isaac Livingood. I will.
Yeah, Isaac
Isaac
underscore...
Livingood. I will try to say it with my French accent. I don't think it. I
No.
think I made it worse. Isaac, sorry if we mispronounced your name, but we really like your art.
Yes. It's at Isaac underscore Livingood on Twitter. And basically, how I came across it was that I was trying to find pictures of Furio Tigre to trace over for my art. And when I Googled Furio Tigre, one of the first images that popped up were these amazing cartoons. Like, his style is so unique. It reminds me of like old books from the 60s, like picture books for kids, because the expressions and the colors he uses are so that era.
Yeah, it's super like Betty Boop. I don't know why, like kind
Yes.
of that. It's very cartoonish. It's super out there, but it's like really, really good. I think we're gonna use that for the art of the podcast and put it in the description as well.
Yeah.
Definitely like really interesting. And he really captured the extraness of Furio and just the
Yeah.
colors and
And I love how he drew him twice with Garfield on his clothes.
definitely a mood. But it's like just even
And
his personalities was really well captured.
yes. And also Viola. He did
Yeah.
Viola in Phoenix as well. Those are
Mm.
excellent.
And I was like
Yeah.
looking at people who responded under these pictures, and one person said that they haven't played the games yet. I mean, maybe not the game, but they haven't went that far in the games, and they were excited to see the character. And I was like trying to imagine what would be my perception of Fury Tigre if I just saw those drawings and then in the game. And I don't think it would be that far off. I think he really nailed it. I think that person's not going to be like super surprised. I think he really captured the boldness, the rage and confidence that Furio has and that we
Like
all
the
love.
clothes of a washed out pimp.
Yeah. And the cigar and the tea.
Yeah.
And he even drew the when Furio goes all soft and he puts his
Yes.
hands together and his
Aww.
hair parts. I love that moment.
And then Isaac also drew Edgeworth.
Yes. And did an
He drew
amazing
Lego
version.
Edgeworth. I didn't even know I needed Lego Edgeworth in my life until I saw Lego Edgeworth.
Leg Edgeworth is very much needed and appreciated in those dark times. I love
Yeah.
him. He's so because Edgeworth is so bulky, and that's true. Edgeworth is like a square, so it fits perfectly.
Oh, look at his little smug
Look at his
expression.
little hands. They look like circles cut in half.
Yeah, and then the other one, my other favorite one, is when Phoenix is putting his hand on Edgeworth's cheeks.
If that fan art needed to have a caption, it would be, "Are we about to kiss right now?" I think that's what it would be. It's a
Yes.
very tender expression.
But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. He also drew
There's...
Hobo Phoenix is in one of
Yeah.
these art swap thing where he drew like one character from each fandom. And I mean, not a big fan of Hobo Phoenix, but it was cute.
Papa Hat.
Papa Hat.
But yeah, that's Isaac. Please go check out his account
Yes.
and follow him and shower him with love because he deserves it and his art deserves it.
Yeah.
We'll link his account below.
Definitely.
Okay.
Now.
Let's let's talk about setting and location. Fucking finally.
With a lot of anticipation because we announced this subject and we were like, psych! Because we did the love one first because of Freshwater Pirates.
Well, here it is, setting and location.
Yeah.
And we thought we'd go game by game.
To change. So game one, what are our favorites? Location and settings. I think we should just discuss our favorites.
Yeah, you go first.
Still Samurai for me. Those studio, I love them.
Okay.
I love them so much. I like how, like, you get to see I was always very interested in like cinema, and so seeing a studio, seeing like where everything's filmed, I loved the little lodge, the old like the studio too. I think it's really really cool, and I think it's a great way to set a murder.
Okay. I was never really fond of those, like the areas in Turnabout Samurai. I don't know why.
I love them.
They're just not, I don't know, as flashy. I don't know how to describe it. Like, for example, I think it's Studio One. Like, there's not a lot to do. It's just like a place to throw away in penny nickels.
I don't know. I think it's just so fun. And I like when the murder happens at one location and you get to explore it. I'm not a big fan of like places where it's kind of spread out and you need to go to that place and that place and that place.
Like what?
For instance, Turnabout Sisters, where it's like, you need to go to the Gateway Hotel. But at the same time, it's like Red White's office. And also Grossberg's office. I feel like when it's a bit spread out, I have more trouble like associating the trial with one place, which makes it harder to like memorize it and become memorable.
That's what I wanted to say at the beginning, is that cases which are almost completely associated with the institution or the facility, the type of facility, are more memorable. For example, like, you know what? I'll mention a property here. You know what does this excellently is American Horror Story.
Yeah.
The reason why it's so memorable and you distinguish between the seasons so much is like House, Asylum,
Circus,
Coven, Circus, the freak show,
Hotel.
And then there's like Hotel, and then it's when the show started declining. That's when it started, like after season 5. I think it was Roanoke, Cult. It didn't really Apocalypse, and it didn't really capture like the essence of the season. And the same goes for Ace Attorney. Like, when you think about Turnabout Samurai, you instantly think about the studios.
Yeah. And like,
or when you think about Turnabout Reclaimed, it's the aquarium.
Yeah, definitely. I love those. But I think what's interesting about American Horror Story, I haven't watched a single episode. I know precisely where those seasons are set. Like, I know Azalea. Azalea? Is that how you pronounce it? Like, I know Hotel.
What?
I know Coven. Azalium? Azilium?
Asylum.
Where?
Asylum.
I was like, I can tell. Asylum.
Yeah.
Asylum. Okay. Let's just gracefully move on from that. But I do think, like, it's effective because even people who haven't watched it can recognize the places.
Yeah, you know about this stuff and you haven't watched it.
Yeah. But apart from Turnabout Samurai, my favorite location from Phoenix Wright the First is Lake Gord.
Which area?
Well, when you say setting and location, are we talking about the setting and location of the cases, or just one specific frame from that location?
Both.
So, in general, I love Lake Gord, and my favorite area is the one. There's the food stand, which I love because I was like, oh, I want to see it there. But especially the place where Loda Hart takes pictures and she has a little picnic set up. It's so fall vibes, and there's this lake where I go a lot with my family, and every time I went,
Fall. The
it's
case
in
takes place
winter.
at
It's in
Christmas.
winter, but all the leaves are gone, and it gives me fall vibes. There's no snow, and every time I go there at that lake during the fall, I'm like, oh my god, it's like Gord, and I feel like I keep my eyes open, and I'm like, maybe I'm gonna see a murder or something. That was my story.
Okay. No. She's middle fingering me over camera. I hate you.
I'm not. This is a lie. I would never do such thing. I'm a Christian girl. I am from
No.
Girl
I
Defined.
mean, you are a white Christian girl because you love fall that much.
I am. I wear big scarves
Go
and hugs.
drink your pumpkin spice or something. So, my favorite locations and settings from the first game is April May's room. Of
I was sure
course.
of it.
I like Grossberg's office.
It is
I like
cool.
how the painting disappears as
Yeah.
well.
And then we
Um,
find it somewhere else in one of the latest games.
yeah, that's not one of my favorite locations though.
Really?
No, it's not. I hate Blue Corp. What's it called? Whatever. I don't like it.
Oh,
I
no, no,
think
no.
it's
I
like,
didn't mean that.
oh, what did you
I
mean?
meant the room in Ace Attorney Investigation 2.
Oh, yes,
I
of
was like, it's
course.
not one of your
Okay.
favorite locations? I
Yeah, yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
shocked.
And then I like in general, I also love Good Lake. I love the criminal affairs,
Oh,
like
yeah.
watching the detectives work and stuff. I have to say, one of my favorite locations from the first game, if not my favorite, is Damon Gantz's office.
Hmm.
When you go in and there's this huge church organ
Toot,
and it just
toot.
fits in, yeah, with his
Hmm.
theme
Theme.
song. It's awesome. And like the murder revolves around there as well, like the murder in the past. It all has to do with that room and how his vase was the same shape as a blue badger.
Hmm.
I also love Yanni Yogi's room,
Oh,
like the
yeah.
boat rental
The,
shop
like, shack.
with Polly.
Polly.
Yeah. But it's so cozy. I think that's it. Oh, you know what I love, love, love? The train station where we rush at the end to find Maya before she leaves.
Very cute as well.
Underrated location.
I mean, we don't see it much, but it's adorable.
We see it once,
It left a big
but
mark on you.
I don't know. It reminds me of the train station we have back at uni,
Oh, yeah, kinda. It does.
and it's a happy moment.
Mm.
It's a sad moment, but it's a happy sad moment.
It's like all about growth, and it's not a farewell, it's just a goodbye. And I like that.
Yeah, but
Mm,
overall, not a lot of memorable locations.
yeah. Some good ones, but just not a little too spread out for me, for my taste.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
second game.
Second
I would say
game,
it has some memorable location.
Crane Village.
Terrain Village.
Yeah.
I really like the
I love
windy
Crane Village.
way where we meet
Eeny meeny.
Eeny Meeny and Pearls, and we discover that she like uh,
Broke
yeah, broke the
the Ami
urn.
vase.
I think it's just like Crane Village is such a vibe, and I love it. I really like it.
Okay. I love Crane Village. I love how it makes a return in Spirit of Justice. I I think it's such a vibe, and I love how one of the few things Spirit of Justice does right is expanding on the already established lore, like
Yeah.
having Durke and Apollo go to the caves. That's
Mm.
excellent. I also like the Hottie Clinic. I told you this before, it just gives
Yeah.
me a global feel, like traveling and stuff. We're not restricted. And it shows like we can travel around town and find clues everywhere.
Yeah.
Like Eeny Meeny's background was discovered somewhere you'd never expect.
With a
But
psychopath.
yes, but the second game has my all-time favorite location.
Yeah, I know which one is it.
Say it.
It's the Gateway Hotel.
Gatewater Hotel.
Gatewater Hotel.
The Gatewater Plaza. Viola
Reception.
Hall.
Yes.
Viola Hall.
You're obsessed with it.
Yes, I am. And I I just have an affinity towards like balls and like the whole like grand events and like Hitchcock movies where it all happens in like a dinner. Like in Rebecca, there's this costume party, like this costume ball, and that's one of my favorite movie moments. And I don't know, like when something is just so set up, like even in a hotel with the food and everything looks so good, and Maya is like drooling all over the lobster and the stuff on the food on the tables, and Will Powers is wearing his tuxedo.
He's so
It's a
cute.
huge room. Anything could happen. I love it.
You
I
know what's
love
funny? I watched Rebecca yesterday.
the new one or the old one.
I watched the new one, but I watched the old one this summer, and we watched it to compare it.
I haven't
So,
watched the new one. I heard it's crap.
it's not that bad. I was expecting it to be worse, but it's very like sensual, which the first one wasn't. There's loads of like sexy scenes full of passion between Armie Hammer and Lily James.
Whatever. I'm a sacrilegious person. I don't endorse remakes. I'm sorry, doll. Always go with the original.
I mean, I don't know a lot of people who are fans of remakes. They usually are more into the original.
Well, people who don't know the original.
But Rebecca is a great film, and that ball scene is chef kiss.
Chef's kiss.
Yes.
Yes.
If you haven't watched Rebecca, go watch it.
We will not link it below because we do not endorse piracy.
Yes. Buy it for yourselves.
But yeah.
Even like when I think about the second game, even if it's not a case that we love, the circus is a great location. It's
Yeah.
it's like interesting, full of colors. It has like some
And
interesting
it's
dynamics.
not all over the place. It's not all over the place.
They could have
Everything
overdone
is centered
it.
there.
Yeah. And I think even if they had like put just too much colors, it could have been like exhausting. But I think it was like a right balance because it's during like Christmas and there's snow everywhere, so it's quite peaceful
Yeah.
outside. I think it was quite well done.
I love the circus cafeteria. It's just so Scooby-Doo. Of course.
So, and yeah, I do think that I love Korean Village. The circus is a great idea, and I mean, the last case is a bit spread out, but I think it has a really good, strong element of the Gatewater
Matt
Hotel.
and Guard's house.
Yeah, and even Shelley the Killer's. We can't. Oh, no, we just see Matt and Guards.
No, it's Matt and Guard's wine
with
cellar.
his cat.
Yes,
Yeah, and his
completely
motorcycle.
forgot about that. Ooh, that was so good. Like going to feed his cat of all things, and like we bump into Shelly the Killer, and like Maya is in the next room, and like
We
the
can't
wine
see
cellar
her.
is the whole thing is red. That's excellent.
Yeah, it was like very on brand. So I feel like even though it's spread out, everything is so iconic and
Yeah.
cohesive. It's all part of like one storyline of Matt and Guard. I think I liked it as well a lot.
Okay.
Third game.
Yeah. Trials and Tribulations.
Uh.
Um, Bridge to Turnabout, of course.
Bridge
I
Turnabout
mean, we have two
location.
cases which don't show any location.
Yeah.
It's just
We
like
have
straight to the trial.
3 location-based cases.
Oh, Trebian.
Trebian is probably one of my favorite settings, but then again, the location in Bridge to Turnabout is also excellent. If I had to
Yes.
go somewhere, if I could go to one place, and I had to choose between the Trebian and the, I always pronounce it wrong. Is it the Azakura Temple?
I don't remember.
I think it's the Azakura Temple, but I'm not great with names. Well, if I had to choose between the Trebian and the temple from Bridge Turnabout, it's Azakura Temple, I would go to the Azakura Temple. I think it's so amazing. Like, I feel like I would find myself on a spiritual level there. Whereas, as
Mm.
much as I love the Trebian, I think I would get food poisoning. You know what I mean? Like, the vibes in Azakura Temple are just immaculate. Like, I feel like I would have you get to spend time in the snow. I genuinely would love to do like a retreat to a place like that one day, like just with nuns and you like do spiritual shit. I would really like that.
And no sex.
I mean, that doesn't change a lot from my daily life, so I could become a nun. I wouldn't mind. I like their outfit.
Um, sure. I don't know if I should edit that out.
You brought it up. You do not tell me what to do. You
You
do
do
not
not
tell
tell
me
me
what
what
to
to
do.
do.
Get off
Pooja, what is this
my
behavior?
back. So I think like the third game has some excellent settings. I adore the Trebian. I think it's probably one of my favorite settings. I think it's my favorite setting of all
I have
time.
to ask something which isn't related.
Yeah, sure.
2 episodes ago, when we were rating and ranking the
Mm,
games, you were talking about how Trials and Tribulations is perfect for you.
yeah.
And the same went for when we were talking about characters, like our favorite, like general, very general stuff in the first episode. And I said, I don't like Ron the Light. I know why I hate the Stolen Turnabout and why it puts Trials and Tribulations down to a 9.5 instead of a 10
Mm,
out of 10. Because I had bad memories playing the Stolen Turnabout. I had, like, it wasn't anything to do with the case. I mean, it had to do with the case. The characters were annoying and I hate Look at Miss Office and the whole stuff. But it was mostly affected by my personal feelings.
mm.
But you never brought it up. When you
In
were reviewing the game, you never talked about the Stolen Turnabout.
I
And nor
think
do you do when you talk about Ron the Light.
okay, so I think here's the thing. I don't think I hate the Stolen Turnabout as much as you.
Of course
I
not.
think it's an annoying case, but for me, it's not gonna take away from the rest of the game. It's just like a little forgettable. Like, here's the thing that I don't like about the Stolen Turnabout. I think it didn't like the way the murder was set up, and I thought it was always a little too complicated to understand, so it wasn't as satisfying when you revealed the
Yeah.
way the murder was happening because I was like
Yeah.
myself confused. Rondelize is just whiny, but apart from that, I think it has some good element. I liked seeing Adrian Andrews again. I love Godot. I think
Desiree.
if Desiree Pearls, I think it has like it's the worst case from that game because it's such a perfect case, it makes it like average. And for me, if it wasn't in other game, I would hate it so much. But because it's in this game, like I can't tolerate it. Do you know what I mean? For me, it's tolerable.
I think it's kind of interesting how because when I posted this on Reddit, how much I don't like it, like I rated it so low, everyone was like, oh, this Stolen Turnabout, why is it so low? But it's so weird that we have the same opinion. And again, we were in the same flat.
Yeah. But I do like some element of it. I think I don't think
Like
I
I do with
dislike.
Turnabout
Yeah,
Storyteller.
exactly. That's kind of the same thing. I don't think I hate Look at Me the same way you hate him. I like his catchphrase, and I think he's an eccentric dude, and I like watching it like the story unfold with him. W-
Zvari.
One of the guy that I dated, Aris calls him Look at Me, so it's not
Yeah,
related to
because
that person.
he looks like Look at
It
Me.
does not look like Look at Me.
Zvari.
I'm going to murder you one day, and no one will know it's me.
Okay.
But like the thing is, I don't hate it as much as you do. I just slightly don't like it, but I still think about it as a okay case, you know?
Hmm. Mystery solved, I guess.
Mystery solved.
And she wouldn't and she would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for
This
Aris
meddling
meddling.
kids.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Trials and
Um,
Tribulations.
yeah, tell me your locations.
So I love the Bridge to Turnabout locations. Not all of
Amazing.
the not all of the scenes are satisfying to look at. Like I don't really like the garden where it all goes down on the end.
Mhm.
I like the inside, I like the outside of the temple, I like the bridge, I like the place where Larry
Oh my
paints.
God. But I just thought about something.
What?
All of our favorite locations are in the intro of the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I made that intro with like Ace Attorney online and like my podcast, my trials making thing, and I put all of our favorite locations. So it's kind of like you can already kind of know
A
which location we
preview.
would really like.
Yeah. So that's a preview.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I what really makes it more interesting for me,
Mhm.
the whole thing, is how how random it is that they end up going there. Because do you remember
That's
how they end
true.
up going there?
Because they found an article and he sees
Yeah.
Iris and he's like, oh,
No, no. Phoenix agrees to do that because he sees a picture.
mm.
But Maya is like, oh, here are top 10 spiritual places. We should definitely go here for like a weekend.
But isn't it
And it
like
all goes to shit.
planned? Isn't it like Morgan who's like two pearls that she needs to give that to Maya because they were planning to murder her? I feel like it was a setup, but I don't know how.
Probably. Here's this magazine. Let's go on a lovely vacation on the
Yeah.
mountains where your mom will die. Your
Bam.
mother will get. You will murder your mother in cold blood.
Alice Doxim got killed by Morgenfell whacked her. This doesn't rhyme. This was disappointing.
Okay.
What else? Oh, I know which location you love, and we forgot.
From Trials and Tribulations?
No, from the game before.
What?
The airport.
Yes! Thank
I know
God you
you.
mentioned it. The airport, similar to the fucking train
Mm.
station. I love this end of game locations. Like, ugh. Francisca being there and she's crying and the sky outside is a wonderful. I don't know. I have a thing for like really 90s and early 2000s like facilities, like old airport design, like LAX, like that whole thing, like the huge thing, and like the whole global feel and traveling. I love it. That's why I have such an affinity to the train station and the
Mm.
airport. But going back to Trials and Tribulations once more, Trevian is one of my favorite. And from the specific case, I also like Tender Lender. And it's the Viola Cadaverini office.
Oh.
And I also like blue screen co where we find Lisa Basil.
Yeah.
I don't know. It fits everything together.
I think it's ironic that my favorite like setting are the one from Recipe and Turnabout and Recipe, because it is spread out as well. Like you're not in the Trebian all the time. You're in the Vitamins Park, you're in the Tenderlander, you're in a blue screen. But I don't know, it's just cohesive and fun. It's a really fun setting. Like
It
everything is
is.
like exciting, and the Trebian, just this pink look that is shown. It's lovely. My only criticism, and you know this, how much this annoys me.
Yeah. You
Why
mentioned this before as
are
well.
the uniforms this orange where they could
No
have been
one
pink?
cares.
I care. I care.
Well,
It's
no
so
one.
upsetting. It's so upsetting.
I know. I wish they could be pink as well, but whatever.
It's so upsetting. But apart from
Okay.
that, great location. I think in a spread out thing, great location, and in just like a huis clos, we say that in French. It's like place you cannot escape. Bridge
I hate
Turnabout
you.
is a master class. It's like just perfect. It's so big. There's loads of place to go, but everything is coherent. You have the same looks. You have the snow. You have like the Japanese building. It's just perfect. I love it so much. I want to go there.
I think you smell like poop.
I feel like I'm talking to a toddler sometimes who just says
Yeah,
random shit all the time.
you are.
And if I was in the same room, I would gently tap your head.
Okay. Apollo Justice!
Yay. Yoo-hoo.
You bitch!
Okay. What are your favorite settings from Polo Justice?
Where to start?
Indeed. Oh, I know which one is yours gonna be.
Which one?
It's the Coliseum.
No.
You love those, like, you love that case.
No, I don't. I love that case. Of course I love it. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you my favorite locations from the game, okay?
Okay.
Starting off, we have the Borscht Bowl Club. Amazing. Amazing.
We don't even get to see it.
But we do get to see it in the picture. The piano is covered in snow, even though it's indoors. It's so cozy.
I think that's dust.
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Oh, I said okay.
Okay. So, yeah. Then there's I don't like the Kitaki house. I wish we could go inside. And I also don't like the park. And also that case, I think just the buildings are really ugly in town. But Palmeractus's office, wow. With the glow in the dark jars of like blue fluids and stuff. Excellent. Excellent location. I love his office and how the windows open where Alita Tiala just jumped out or something.
Yeah.
It's excellent. And then Turnabout Serenade. Such a good idea. Such a good institution. Such a good facility. I don't like the stage that much, nor the outside. I think it looks tacky. But the backstage rooms and when they get ready and stuff and the hallway, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. I love it. I really do. And then nothing from the final case. There's nothing.
That's understandable. Nothing for me as well in the last case. Even in the first case, I know you get to see pictures from that club, but not really interested in it. And I think, so for the second case, it's not a case that I hate. I think I don't hate it. I like Gael Dune. I like a couple of things, but I do think the settings and location make the case forgettable because it's not one of those instances where it happens at a place that's relevant. It kind of is too spread out for me, and so none of the plays are really like memorable. You know, when I
But
think
it
of
doesn't
this
even have an
case,
institution it's based on, so it can't be spread out. It's literally in the city.
yeah, I know, but it's what makes it forgettable because since it's just in the city, you have no clue, like particular thing to identify it with. You know what I mean? Like when you see
Yeah.
screenshots from a certain case, the settings is like, oh, it's set here, so you know it's from that case. In that case, you see a park, you see the front of the house, and also I was disappointed we couldn't go into the house. So it's kind of like meh. And I do think the stadium is cool. I liked the rooms, like kind of the rockers, like where the murder happens.
Clavier's office. I thought I'd like it
Oh,
more, but I like it less than I'd
really?
expect.
Hmm.
I prefer Edgeworth's office any day.
Yeah. It's also quite forgettable. I'm having to Google it right now. There's a keyboard somewhere. I remember that.
Yeah, I want to Google it as well.
Yeah, it's really forgettable, which is sad.
It is.
That's kind of like I wished. I do think that Christoph's cell is very cool.
Ooh.
I think that's
Yeah, it
definitely
kind of
true.
is. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
But their office kind of forgettable.
Yeah,
Shall we move
I get
on?
what you're saying. Hmm?
Shall we move on to what were you about to say?
No. Fucking Dual Destinies.
What were you about to say?
I wasn't about to say anything. I just don't want to move on to Dual Destinies.
Okay.
Here's the thing. After we finish this, because we're looking into specifics right now. After we finish this, I just really wanted to discuss like what we wish for institutions and facilities they visit, but also like think about the ideas as a whole.
Yeah.
Like say we did aquarium, we did cafe slash restaurant, we did temple in the mountains, we did school, and that's what brings me to Dual Destinies. Because the main problem I voiced in the other episodes is that it doesn't allow us to investigate. It takes away from the settings and locations. It does. And like you're left with just facilities and institutions and like the ideas but not actual locations and settings because you can't explore. Even though they added 3D model of the locations you're supposed to investigate, such as Mayor Kyubi's, whatever the hell his name is, the place where he gets murdered, or the outdoor theater in Dual Destinies. They're not memorable, not interesting. They had brilliant ideas on paper.
Yeah.
You have an academy, an aquarium, the space center, and you let it all go to waste because you were too lazy to include investigating specific stuff. So yeah, I can't think of like a location I like from. I mean, that sounds a bit harsh because I haven't put that much thought into it. I don't like anything from the Monsters Turnabout. I think they all look horrible. I Turnabout Academy, as much as I want to like it, I don't like how they modernized it and I like the hallway where Athena first steps into. And I also like the back area outside where the garage is, where we meet Miriam Scuttlebutt or whatever her name is, which you're not able to explore. And the art room as well. But I don't like how the lecture room is so modernized and how every desk has a computer, like a tablet.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's about it.
Kind of agree. I think they had amazing ideas. I do think.
You agree?
Okay, I agree to some extent. I do think, like, I like all of the settings. Like, academy, amazing. Like, a school, a traditional village, then, I was about to say an astronaut place. What's it called? Like,
Space station.
A space station. Like, amazing ideas. I just think it wasn't super well executed. I was a bit disappointed with the academy. I wish we could have seen each rooms or go into different classrooms and see more of the lives. It was all very
like a cafeteria.
Yeah, I think
or
it was it lacked
there's nothing.
It lacked life. You know what I mean? Like it didn't feel like a place where people would live and would have stuff happen to them. It felt like a bit boring. And then the space station. I do love the space station. I think it's really cool. I do really like that one. I'm not
No.
The setting in the Monsters Thunderbird is okay. It's nothing brilliant, but I like that it happens in the same place and it's like kind of have the same vibe. Same for Academy.
No.
I love the space station and I love the aquarium. I think it's an amazing setting. I love it's super coherent. Everything has the same vibe, but like you get to see Dr. Scrab's office. Like there's a restaurant. I think it's really really well done. I think the aquarium is really well done, and I love it. I love Turnabout Reclaimed.
The environmentalist inside of me restricts me from loving that area.
Yeah, I know, but it's not like you're going to a real aquarium because it's a video game.
I'd much rather it be a water park.
What?
I'd much rather it be a water park.
But I get what you mean coming from an ethical standpoint, but it would have...
A what?
Ethical? From ethics?
Oh, yeah.
But I do think it brings so much to the case that it's an aquarium because there's like Dr. Scrab and the whole thing with animal and their treatment.
It could take place at a bay or a coast.
What?
It could take place at a bay or a coast or like a beach.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
And we could still defend Orla.
I mean...
I just don't like animals being kept captive.
Yeah.
That's all.
And I kind of expected the case to address that more. The morality of it.
Because, you know what? Because the reason Azura died was supposedly because she got murdered by whales who went crazy, and that's a real life thing.
Yeah.
The poor things go crazy. I mean, people went crazy when they were asked to stay in their houses during quarantine.
Yeah.
Imagine how the animals feel.
My sister's obsessed with killer whales, and so she could do a whole podcast with us explaining how they go insane.
That would be great.
Yeah, but I was like, you should play this case, and when I was done finishing, I was like, it's not really on the whale side, but I do still love the case, and I love the setting. I love aquariums, but I don't go there because it's not ethical. But I just love their vibes. So it's great for me to have a case set in one because no real animal suffers from them.
But it endorses the idea nonetheless.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Whatever. Can I just say, now that I remember...
Yeah.
I hate what the second trilogy did with the Wright...
Yeah, very true.
The Wright office.
Because the original Wright office is so amazing. with
It's
Charlie, and
one
it's
of
like,
my favorite locations
yeah,
ever. Turnabout Sisters theme is playing. You just chill with Maya. You ask her what to do. Have any ideas? And then it turns into this. What a fucking
messy
mess.
place.
And
It's
it
just
never, like,
dirty.
even after it becomes a law office again, after Apollo Justice, it's still a fucking mess in, like, Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice.
I don't like it. And I kind of get what they were trying to do, but it just feels unprofessional.
Yeah, I don't like it at all. Okay, Spirit of Justice. I'ma just say that I don't like almost any location from Korain,
Oh
and
yeah.
I expect the same from you. Yeah. I mean, it's just a no. I mean, you have, actually, to be fair, one of my favorite locations from the series is Durke's law office.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
I love it. And, like, there's so much to investigate and look at clues and stuff, and that's a rebel is eating his lizards, and I don't know, it's just,
They use
I like
Garen's
it.
picture to play darts with.
Yeah, it's cool. And I also like the secret hideout behind the bird statue.
True. And also you like the
But
settings in the magical turnabout.
yeah, but that's not in Kurain.
Mm.
But yeah, I think that's about it for Kurain. I don't think I like anything else from that country.
I'm trying to think. I
I
didn't
mean,
really like anything in the Rite of Turnabout. It was all.
the victim's house is
Mm,
cool.
I wasn't a
Not
big
cool,
fan of
but
it. It kind of were a bit morbid. And the place where the murder occurred, I wasn't really a fan of
I like
it. It was
I
not
like
bad.
how the Believe household, how the In Me household, sorry, is like where Maya was staying.
Yeah. But like imagine if you could have seen like Maya's room where she's staying there was like tons of Maya element and little like fan service. I don't know. I think they could have done more with it. Or even like a baby nursery because they're about to see a baby. I think they could have made it a little more lively. But then again, it's not bad. It just wasn't fascinated by it. And the palace in the last case didn't really vibe with it as well.
No, I didn't like it. I didn't like that at all.
Hmm.
So what else is there?
There's the magical
Just
turnabout,
magical
and
turnabout, and what
there's
else? Oh, the Korean village.
the Korean village, and
Okay,
there's the
so
wedding ceremony thing.
yeah. Ooh, I forgot about that. I don't think I like anything from that case. The locations. Maybe the park, but that's about it. I like, well, maybe no, actually I don't like the locations from Turnabout, the magical Turnabout are not that exciting. I like the TV station, like the TV like the headquarters for the TV station.
Oh yeah.
I like the underground, like under the stage passage. That's cool as well, like the hidden room. And I like when you climb above the stage and the thing between like Athena and Apollo discuss how he has fear of heights. But other than that, I mean, the last case we talked about Korean Village. It doesn't have. Oh, I like Archie Buff's house.
Oh yeah. It's really
It's
cool.
so cool.
I do.
It's really
I think
cool.
I love. I wasn't a big fan of the magical turnabout, as you said, but I think they really redeemed themselves in the first part of the last case. Korean Village, I loved it, and buff
Yeah.
house. It's super cool. Like those very how do you say? It's not width,
Tall.
it's height. Like with like
Tall.
yeah, it's like super tall building with loads of natural light and this huge like
Yeah.
bookshelves, and it's just really good. And even the cave is a great location.
We. Oh,
Mm,
yeah. Like the part where it's sinking.
yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I really like Durkee and Apollo's adventure at the beginning,
Hmm.
in the civil
It
trial,
was
before the civil
definitely
trial.
wholesome.
And I don't know, I just like, as I said before, I like how they expanded on established lore. They didn't wipe anything off. They were like, that's the mountain that was there in the second game. It was never addressed, but we're gonna fucking address it right now. We're going to that mountain. And they don't even, I mean, they were lazy enough to make a location for the in-between part, so it's just a black screen and Durkee and Apollo's talking. But even the picture, the animated picture of Durkee holding Apollo as they sink and him trying to save him, and how there's a sea behind it.
Yeah,
Behind Kurain village, there's a sea.
yeah.
That's expanding on the lore and like world building.
That's really good. I
I
agree.
love that. Yeah. But other than that, not really. Spirit of Justice didn't give us lots to work with.
Shall we
Yeah.
move on to investigation one?
Yes. So both the investigations games have the best, in my opinion, facilities in terms of themes and like overall places. You have an airplane, a literal plane. You have you have a theme park, a literal theme park, sweetie. Um, what else goes down there? What's the next case?
Um,
An embassy.
the
A
embassy
literal fucking
and
embassy.
Edgeworth office.
Well, okay. You have the plane, the theme park, the embassy. And then, okay, let's do the both investigations game in one.
Okay.
So then because like, you don't really get to see animation or like, and because of you not being able to like just press a button and go there, they couldn't really make it as I don't know, like give the global feel that like travel from the questioning room to the circus, like in Turnabout Big Top, or like in any other case, like travel from the office to the what do they call it? Like where you see your client.
The detention center?
Yes, the detention center. I mean, they couldn't really do that, so it's all interconnected. The thing with investigations is that they couldn't do the all over place thing you hated for some of the cases, but you still hate it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate the locations. It's just, I do feel like, I think the plane one is excellent. Like, a
It's a great
crime
idea.
in a plane. It reminds me of like Hercule Poirot and like the murder of the Orient Express, like a killing that happens during a travel. I think it's a great idea. Um, I'm not a big fan of the embassy. I like the theme
Why?
park. I like this theme park. I don't know. I don't vibe with the
I like the
embassy.
theme park as an idea, but I think the execution is
Yeah,
horrible.
maybe.
I don't like that case at all. The story is horribly written.
And then for
But the
investigate,
embassy,
no.
what? The embassy was so good. Like the idea that it's two separate embassies and how would one go from one place to another without passing through national security?
Don't like it. Don't like
Okay,
it. Don't like it.
stop.
That was my impression. Thank you very much. And then investigation two.
Amazing, amazing. Can we say amazing?
Honestly, the locations are great. Prison, wow. Baking thing, I love the like palace turned into a museum. It was really
Court
cool.
Lake.
Gourd
Return to
Lake.
Court Lake. The
They were
prison.
all good. They were all good.
They were all excellent. You start with Gore Park, one of your favorites revisited.
Yeah.
You have the prison, which isn't even a normal prison, and it's an extension of the detention center.
Yeah, it was great.
You have the house/museum, which I would just wish we had seen all the rooms of the contestants.
I agree.
And the floor above.
And the
where
garden where they have
served.
tea.
Yeah. But still amazing. Can you say a location which embodies Christmas? Yes, you can. It's that house. It's red and white.
My God.
And then you have the tallest building in the city, which is like a secret cult meeting room inside, which is with a secret floor on top.
Yeah, it was really interesting.
And the like fanatic room with the whole like collectibles thing. And then I guess the last case doesn't have a specific theme, but it has some damn good locations. Like the filming site for Mozilla. You know what we forgot from Investigations 1? Exploring the goddamn courthouse.
Oh, yeah.
Turnabout reminiscence.
That's true.
Amazing.
Right.
And you get to go back in Investigations 2 as well when it's Patricia Rowland's trial and Justine Courtney is presiding.
Yeah.
And then we also, I mean, you don't get to play around, but fucking Blaze the Best garage.
Stinky
And amazing. And then once more, Very Big Circus Revisited.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Final Showdown.
True.
A fucking orphanage.
Great
Excellent.
locations.
Excellent.
They're good locations. They just don't grab me by the heart the same way that some other location do. You know what I mean?
Stop.
I'm not exalted when I see them. They're great, but the spark is missing.
I hate you.
Like Turnabout Reclaim, for instance.
Stop. That's animal cruelty. You're not even vegetarian, you monster.
I will also like to address something that you can't take part in. It's the location in the mangas. In the mangas?
Oh.
I won't say too much because I really want you to read them. Guys, if you haven't, they're mangas from the Ace Attorney series, and they're really, really good. There's 2 series. There's the Ace Attorneys one, the Ace Attorneys Investigations. And
what?
Yeah, there's like 5 books of like Phoenix and Maya, and 5 books of Just Edgeworth. Is it 5 or is it 3? But there's 2 separate series, and they're really, really good.
I had no idea.
They're so good. They're so good. And
what are the locations?
There's a mall where there's like a fortune teller festival, and there's like each room is a different kind of fortune tellery, and there's a murder. It's so good. There's like a haunted hotel that is excellent.
What?
They're so good. Like the cases are, there's a family house where someone has like loads of spiders, and the spiders are part of the murder. It's just so good. I'm holding them as we're speaking, and I'm just checking. There's like an amusement park as well. Some of them just happen in trials, and that's okay. There's which one is this one? There's a cooking show. There's a cooking like competition. Instead of baking, it's a cooking competition on live TV where a murder happens. And it's really, really good.
Nice.
And there's another hotel where there's kind of like this divine figures that happen. There's loads of interesting settings. And I think one day we should do an episode when you read them all and we discuss them.
I never abused you on playing Investigations 2.
You never what?
Shut up.
This was harassment. If a policeman would have seen my phone, he would have said, "Ma'am, you need to press charges. This man is harassing you every day." I'm appalled.
It was worth it, you bitch.
It will be worth it too. But now I think we should move on to our suggestions for places.
Yes, so I think we also covered facilities and institutions pretty well.
Yeah.
So there's no need to recap. You can go first.
I think suggestions. I'd love for it to be a summer setting, like a beach hotel, or like a spa resort, or a
Funny
cruise.
Enough, that's what I was going to suggest.
Really?
Yeah, I was thinking the hotel from Mario Sunshine.
Definitely, like the Filno Plaza. I want to see that.
Yeah.
Or if you guys
or Sirena Beach.
Yeah, and if you guys I read a lot of Detective Conan. I'm a huge fan of it. When they all go to that beach hotel and Rand's mom come as well, and there's drama there. It's excellent settings. It's from Detective Conan.
Shut up.
It's really good. It's like a beach hotel, and they go to the beach, and it's really, really good. I would love for them to have a little vacation, and then bam, murder.
Yeah, I don't know. For all the crap I've given that fucking game, Mario Sunshine, I hate it so much. I literally hate that game.
The music is so good. I listen to it when I do my own tasks.
Yeah, the music is amazing, and the locations, like the hotel, is excellent.
So good.
Like exploring the rooms with Yoshi.
Yeah.
And like having to go through paintings and stuff. That would be amazing for Ace Attorney. I'd also like something more exotic as well. But I also think they would really succeed if they did like a swamp.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm thinking more like the games I grew up with. There's this, I don't know if you've heard about it ever. I've never mentioned this to you before. Mm-hmm. Do you know Jak and Daxter?
No.
So it's this game. I'll send it to you now. So it's this game. It's really, really different from Ace Attorney, but it has like lots of types of locations. And one of them is called Bogey Swamp or something like that. And I don't know, I think it just tackles it really well. I think it would be amazing if like a family of like swamp people with like crocodiles, like something.
Oh, like in Scooby-Doo with the crocodile family? The alligator people? Don't you remember that episode in Scooby-Doo?
Oh, Mystery Inc. Yeah, of course. Like that, for example.
Yeah.
But yeah, swamp would be my pick. I was also thinking like other locations. I was trying to think of other locations. Hospital hasn't been done before.
Hospital would be so good.
Orphanage was done, but not to an extent. It was just scene investigations too.
School could be cool as well.
Yes, but what about a university? And this time do it right instead of like the academy.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm, I can't think of another institution. The ones you mentioned from manga, I wish like the mall would be a thing.
The mole one was good.
I
Definitely.
mean, investigating shops and stuff, that would be
Yeah.
amazing. But yeah, I don't know, like we have a pretty good range already. We have restaurant, we have aquarium, we have hotel, we have, I mean, even like ski resort like the Asakura Temple.
Mm.
They've done houses before, like Vera Mission, the Monsters Turnabout. I'm trying to think of locations from Scooby Doo. Yeah, but I'm. There's so many interesting locations from other video games, which like take something so generic, and turn it into something so interesting. Like in Pokemon Black 2, there's this underwater tunnel, which would be like, it's not an aquarium,
Hmm.
but like having such a facility, like something with the sea. Can you imagine like a cruise or a,
Yeah.
like the those things that are like bases for like draining oil from the sea,
Yeah.
like natural gas, whatever it's called. That would be interesting.
I actually had a discussion with someone a couple of days ago about Professor Layton, which I think you should play. Um, and we were talking about the same thing, settings in Professor Layton. And my favorite one is like this oasis in a desert. It's like a town
Yeah.
in the middle of the desert, and it's amazing. It's like the town is like so well made. It's my favorite setting ever. And I think it could be really good, like in the middle of a desert, like a kind of a place like that. It's a super rich
Like
town.
Gerudo Town.
What? Yeah,
Like
kinda,
Gerudo Town.
kinda. But it's a little more modern.
I'd love to see Phoenix in a desert and like his allergies acting up.
Yeah.
That would be really interesting, actually. Like um, a desert resort. What about a farm?
That's a good idea.
I mean, something more like, you know how Nintendo likes to display its farms, like the course from Mario Kart. Like everything is so perfect. What's that course called?
That a what?
The like racing course from Mario Kart with the cows.
Oh, the Mew Mew field? I don't know.
Is it Momo Meadows?
I think. It's something to do with
Yeah, it's
Momo.
Momo Meadows. Or like, oh, you know, like a military base would be interesting as well.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I
I'm
just
just
thought
thinking
about
Scooby Doo.
something. Like a
What?
train. Those train where you spend like
Mm,
a couple of days in. That
yes,
could be
like the Orient
cool. Yeah.
Express. Yeah, that would be interesting.
I was thinking of something else, but I totally. Oh yeah, I know what I would like. I would like a town, a super small village where you could have like the main part of the town, and you could go into each house and see like kind of Animal Crossing style. You know what I mean? Like each villagers had their like unit like mood and vibes inside of the house, but you can do like the town hall and stuff like that. I think it'd be cool.
A crossover between Animal Crossing
Yes,
and
there's a
Phoenix, right?
murder in Animal Crossing.
Okay, so I just Googled Scooby Doo locations, and some of the ideas here are, what about a castle?
Ooh, good one.
A lighthouse?
Oh, like that was good.
Lighthouse would be excellent. And like having all the like shipwrecks and stuff. What about a graveyard? Like a cemetery? That would be cool. The one of the things that pops up is also the live action movie with Mr. Bean, which is like a summer resort.
Yeah.
The basis is a summer resort. I'm thinking, what if, have you ever played Wii Resort?
Yeah.
What if a murder happened on that island
That
and
would be
Phoenix was
so
there?
good. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
I used to love that game
Me too. Like,
so much.
you go to the bowling thing, to the tennis court, to the boxing ring. Amazing. So many locations.
I wish they could just let you traverse through the island.
You wish what?
I wish I could just traverse through the island freely, like walk around and see stuff. Because the world building is incredible.
Yeah, I think
But yeah.
when I think about like my favorite video game settings, we discussed another game the other day, Another Code.
Yeah.
It has a sequels that's set during summer, and where she goes to like a little military town. And it's really like a charming location. There's the sea. It's really good. I like that as well.
Another Code.
It's the sequel to Another Code 2.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. Okay. I was thinking about when you said that, like one of the best video games that really captures location well is the Sly Cooper games, which I mentioned. Because it's based in like international cities.
Oh, is it? Like Mario World? Is it the last one?
What?
What is the last one? The last Super Mario?
Mario Odyssey.
What is like, yeah, Mario Odyssey. It's.
But that's
Can
like
I tell
made
you
up
a
worlds.
story?
What?
When I was younger, me and my brother would invent games together, and I had this idea for a new Mario that I called in my head Mario World, where he would travel the world looking for Bowser and would go like to the Eiffel Tower and to Japan and to the States and to all those different places. And kapouch, 8 years later, Super Mario Odyssey comes out, and I find out that my idea have been ripped off.
But that's not what happens.
It is. I was ripped off.
No, it's not.
I was ripped off, and that's why in my head it's called Super Mario World, because that's how I titled it. Me, the original inventor of that game.
But that's not what happened.
I think that's what happened.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I was just about to tell you that Sly Cooper is based on like real life locations. There's like India and Paris and Prague and Haiti and yeah. But sure, Mario Odyssey ripped off Lucie's idea.
Yes, when I was 12.
That's a takeaway from this week's episode.
Yes, and also the Assassin's Creed is based on real location. There's Egypt, there's France, there's like Italy, there's the Caribbean. I think that's how it works so well, because it's like recognizable things that you can identify with.
Okay. So the other game that really does locations good is Ghost Trick. Which I wish you play already.
Oh my god, you played it like 2 days ago and you're already harassing me.
I love this game with my whole fucking heart. I really do. It's almost the same as Ace Attorney story-wise. It's such a good story. The gameplay is different, but you go through locations and you go inside houses and there's a submarine and there's like what else? There's like a chicken restaurant and a prison.
Oh, don't tell me too much.
Okay.
But I will
It's
play
just
it.
excellent.
Okay.
Please play that game.
Okay. Please read the mangas.
Okay. I might read them in Japanese for practice.
Okay, sure. Well, I think this concludes today's episode.
I think we've exhausted our listeners enough for today.
I doubt that anyone is still listening to us. I think they're all gone.
We're sorry, guys.
If you're still listening, wow. Kudos to you. Amazing.
Yes. You deserve a gold star.
You have our hearts. Please come and collect it.
What turned off most viewers is you trying to pronounce asylum.
I think that's where people clicked off. Yeah, definitely. All right. Then thank you for listening.
Thank you guys so much for listening and tuning in again.
Yes. Have a wonderful evening or weekend or week in general. And we'll see you next week.
Where we'll discuss character designs.
Yeah, outfits.
Outfits, character design, character animation.
All that jazz.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. See you next week.
Good night.
Good night.